Hello folks, this is Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Auto Detailing here in Dallas, Texas. I'm going to make fun of my industry. Scott, what are you kidding? You never make fun of your industry. I'm going to make fun of them a little bit. You know, when we buy a traditional wax or sealant, it comes in one of these big containers. That's awesome, right? Because when you open up the top, it comes with a foam applicator and it's perfect for that size container. Let me show you what my industry is doing. Well, the boutique or the high-end waxes or sealants, especially if they're paste, they keep coming in smaller and smaller containers, and that's nice because they're easy to store. Excuse me, but when you open up these containers, you have a very small container. Yes, you can use this foam applicator, but this foam applicator is bigger than the actual jar. What ends up happening is I dig in the middle of this wax. I know it sounds silly, but being detail-oriented the way I am, I kind of want to pull the wax out of this jar at an even rate. I don't want to create a sinkhole and then later on trying to scrape off some off the sides of the jar. I don't know if you guys have ever faced that issue, but I don't know, maybe I'm the only crazy one. Or if you wanted to use like a microfiber applicator pad and you wanted to go in here and dig, of course this is too big for the container. And again, you create a sinkhole. It drives me nuts. What I found with MaxShine, M-A-X-S-H-I-N-E. It's a small little applicator. You can look on Amazon, just punch on Amazon MaxShine as your search. You'll see all their products that come up on their Prime and non-Prime purchases. This little wax applicator will show up. It's really cool. When I first got my hands on it, I said, wait a minute, this thing is too freaking small. This is gonna drive me nuts. But when I put it in these new fancy type of jars that most of us are getting when we buy some high-end waxes and sealants, it is perfectly sized for the jar, which is awesome because as I go to try to pull the wax out of the jar onto my applicator pad, I'm going to draw and kind of break down the wax over a period of time at an even rate, which is kind of cool. I don't have a sinkhole. Does that kind of make sense? Maybe I'm the only one that's crazy, but I love it. I just go in there and slightly twist, get enough wax on the foam pad and go about my business. I thought this thing was going to be too small. I'm like, holy crap, this is going to take forever to wax the car with. It actually helps the process that it's a little bit smaller because you're always putting a small amount on the applicator and you only want a very thin layer on the paint anyway. The other place I find that's really cool, you know sports cars that have spoilers or little wings, and sometimes your applicator can be a little too big with a handle and you can't get under there? This little sucker can get in the tightest of little spaces. I love it. I love it for the fact that it fits in these fancy new jars that a lot of us are buying to buy some of these waxes and sealants these days. It doesn't create that sinkhole effect because you're always digging in there. Folks, I love it. It's called MaxShine, M-A-X-S-H-I-N-E. You can find it on Amazon. I think it was about $8. Don't let that price scare you, because I absolutely love it. When I first got my hands on it, I'm like, what the heck am I going to do with this thing? But it actually works wonderful, and I love the fact that the jars of waxes that I'm using, when I look at it, it's always evenly kind of, you know, pulling or breaking down the wax at an even rate, so I don't create that sinkhole. Does that sound crazy? Maybe, right guys? I love you all. I just wanted to share that with you. What a cool little applicator pad. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.